What's going on? It's Rob here, Trail 2323. Okay, I'm about to part 2 set the concrete for the Alico SL or SC600. I'm making my wood form right here. You know, this is extra boards that I have around. Realistically, I've been trying to clean out a lot of my stuff and get rid of a lot of stuff, but I had these extra boards laying around. So this is what I made my frame out of. It calls for a 24 by 12 by 18 deep. Okay, but if you measure 24 feet on the length, the length of the Alico, the mount, it's really far. So I went with 21. You know, cut a couple inches off this, but I do go by 12, and that's by 12. That's not by 18. So where the extra inches are going to come if it's in the ground. Now, also the metal frame is there, and it's really not a thick steel frame. This is the gate that I'm moving right here. Professionally installed. Shouts out to Acorn Fencing, he did an awesome job. And basically my cantilever gate is the length of my carport here, opens all the way to the end of the carport. So then I am going to put the motor and the concrete pad right in here in this square right here, and then it's going to attach to that circle right there pole and the circle pole over here. So basically the motor's going in the middle of where the fence is. A little slightly off because I don't know how much of a concrete circle they put there. So it's probably gonna go right here, and I'm gonna measure out the, actually probably what I'm gonna do is put the form right there, spray paint the inner form so I know what I gotta dig. And the form is gonna go maybe, I ventured to say 6 inches into the ground right here. So I'm cutting the form right now. I use a square for everything, so it could be square. And I'm probably only going to shoot 2 screws in there, 2 or 3 screws in each side right here. Pre-drill them, then shoot them. But I'm cutting the forms out right now. Alright, I'm a jack of all trades. Master of not putting anything away where it goes. I could not find my 1.5 or 2-inch brads. So I finally found just 1 string of them. Now with these right here for your forms, you could actually pre-drill them, and then screw them in there. But I'm gonna go ahead and shoot my brads through there because it's so much easier for me right now. And I'm gonna put, like, instead of, I was gonna put like 3 screws on each side, I'll put like 6 brads on each side, just shoot them in. And it's gonna be about maybe 6 inches underground anyways, so the earth will help hold the form. This is why I swear by having a air brad nailer on hand, because man, sometimes it makes the project so much simpler. And normally that's for like kind of decorative trim or whatever, but for right now this isn't for a solid foundation. This is just to come apart easy when I'm done. Okay, so here's the box where it's gonna go. I'm probably gonna come further back from the pole right here. I'm trying to talk loud so I get the music out of the background so I can get paid for this. Okay, so I spray painted around it right there so I know where exactly to dig at. Okay, so here I am with my concrete pad. I dug it in the ground some there for the pad. It's going to be a heavy block anyways. Believe me or not, it's heavier than what this fence is. This fence rolled, I think maybe with like 5, maybe 10 pounds of pressure. It rolls very smooth. It actually opens up behind my back door. Okay, so what I did is I made sure when I open it, there's enough clearance with the concrete pad. So the concrete pad's not gonna hit the fence. Now I thought it was cool, and I made this template for the J-bolts to say, hey man, this is pretty awesome, this is where it's gonna go. But here's the problem with the little thing I made. I actually now have to measure how far out this comes from that, because I don't even know if I'm gonna use the J-bolts. I might just drill it, because this right here, you get a little leeway to slide back and forth. Right there, you get a little leeway. But that can't hit any of those posts on the fence. So right now, as far as I'm going to go for what I know is I'm going to level the box. Make sure I get this box completely level, that this platform is completely level, and then I'm going to put the concrete right now. J-bolts, we'll deal with that when we come to it. My wife's cracking up at me because she see me walking outside with the Pam, and I told her I'm a professional. I'm actually spraying the inside of the wood form down to make it easier to break off from the concrete, and also so it won't absorb the water from the concrete that I'm mixing. This is the concrete that I'm making right now. I got 3 bags of Quick Right commercial grade that I'm gonna put in there. Concrete doesn't go far. Make sure you got enough. If it don't come out that and fill that with 3 bags, I'm just gonna level it off actually where it's at and make sure that it's leveled down inside that. Let's hope I bought enough. Now when you're setting posts like you do right here, this is quick set concrete. This set's really quick. Over there, I really don't want quick set. I want more strength, more stronger, since it's gonna have to move that motor going back and forth. Also, when you're mixing the concrete and you're adding your water, it's better to do it little by little than to add too much. I've shown you cross-reference a lot of videos. If you're at this point, you just want it to be able to hold together in a ball. When you squeeze it, just to hold together, you don't want soup. One more important step, very important step before you start mixing concrete. One more step, very important step before you start mixing concrete. Be sure you move your wife's car far back enough. Okay, this is what I was telling you about. That drive sits 2 inches out from the end of the piece. Yeah, right there, 2 inches is what this sits out from there. So the template I made is based off of these right here, so I gotta add 2 inches inward for it to sit back. So I finished the concrete, and my thing is, remember I went a little bit smaller than the form, so I had 3 80-pound bags of concrete, and 3 80-pound bags of concrete got it almost to the top, but not all the way to the top. So you know, I'm jack of all trades, master of none. So if these don't fit level, what I'm going to have to do is put washers underneath to kind of completely level it. So you gotta let this concrete sit for about 30 to 40 minutes before you could actually smooth it off. Okay, so there's my pad. There's my bolts, my J-bolts. I did use those J-bolts after all. And you see a little water across the top of that? Yes, I did mix too much water in the last batch. Pad was actually smaller than what it called for, and that was 3 80-pound bags of concrete. So if you are gonna do what it calls for, you're probably gonna need like 4 or 5 bags of 80-pound bags of concrete. But that thing's gonna weigh a ton, so it's gonna be able to move the fence when everything gets bolted in and said and done. But I didn't finish smoothing it or whatever, you know, after it sits for about an hour. I say 45 minutes to an hour to smooth it, let some of the stuff evaporate off. It seems to be setting pretty good, so I'm probably just gonna leave it for 3 days now. All right, see you in 3 days.